Lumos. Do you care about Elfish welfare? Did you cry when Dobby died in Harry's arms? Because I did. Do your socks vanish and you hope that there's little elves running around your house taking them away so that they can be free like Dobby? If you're like me and you care about the elves, perhaps you should join the Society for the Protection of Elfish Welfare. If you're like me, going to cosplay as a Hogwarts character, specifically Hermione, because Hermione really gives a damn about those elves, I can teach you how to make your own SPEW badge out of polymer clay. It's a really easy project, you don't need that many items to do it either. Let's go back in time and I'll show you how I made it. Okay, so to make this project you're going to need some clay. You need two colours for this. I chose a red colour and a gold colour just because it's the Gryffindor colours. You're also going to need a safety pin, one that's small enough to fit on the back of your badge. You'll also need some form of rolling pin and also a blade, but don't cut yourself, be careful. You'll also need some black paint and a small paintbrush. You'll only need a tiny amount of paint. And also optional gloss. I chose not to, it's up to you whether you want to or not. To start with, you need to work your clay, your main colour. I used the red as the main colour, and I worked it into a ball, and then I started to flatten it out. I used the rolling pin for this. I partly used my fingers, but the rolling pin gets a nicer flat surface. Rolling, what? I did it till it was about ½ centimetre thick. Then I use the pointy end of the dotting tool to draw around a circle. You can freehand the circle, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I wanted to get as circular as I possibly could. So I drew around that, and then I used my blade to cut the shape. Very carefully cut the shape. Okay, not that carefully, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, you can fix it later, it's not really a big deal. Depends how perfectionist you are. Keep your leftover clay because we are going to need that later. Then you need to smooth out the edges of your disc. Just using your fingertips, you can tap it and smooth it out. Put it to the side. Then you need your second bit of clay and you need to make a sausage shape. To do this, you roll your clay into a ball and then you use the flat of your palm to make a sausage. It needs to be long enough so that it can go around your initial circle. Then you need to do the same thing with your second colour clay. The most similar they are in sort of thickness and length, the better. Then you need to put the two top ends of your clay together, your clay sausages, and you need to twist them around each other. Just be careful though that you don't let the bottom bits stick together because they can be a little bit difficult to prise apart. Continue twisting until you get all the way to the end of your strips. And then what you need to do is you need to get that circle back, and then you need to put your twist around the circle and then overlap it at the end, like so. And then you need to press your twist into the circle. It should sort of stick by itself, but I give it a little bit of extra push all around the circle to make sure. You need to cut the ends off of your twist to make it a bit neater, and then you can press it into a nice pointy shape, like I've done here. And your badge should look like this, and then you need to put it in the oven for the instructions on the packaging. Now our clay is baked and it's all nice and hard, and you need to put the safety pin on the back. So decide which side you want to be your front and then put it front facing down. Then you need to get your safety pin and work out which bit is the opening side. Then flatten out a small piece of the clay that you use the same colour for the backing. Yes, that is the opening side. Don't stick that one down because that will be a mistake. Then you need to thread that clay through the safety pin. Then you need to place it onto the back of the badge, like so, and then you need to smooth it all out. It should stick, but I wanted mine to stick a bit better without being wobbly, so I stuck a bit of extra clay around all the edges until I was happy with it. As you can see, I went a bit clay happy, and I got quite a bit of clay on there. And then you can smooth it all out until you're happy with it. I was quite happy with mine like this, and you need to stick it back in the oven again I stuck mine for 30 minutes at 100 degrees. Right, now your clay should be baked and it should be all nice and tough, and that safety pin shouldn't be going anywhere. So now it is time to paint the SPEW lettering. You should only need a tiny piece of paint, and even that little blob was too much for me. And then you need to crack on and write SPEW. Not vomit, not puke, but spew. And there you have it. There is your SPEW badge, and I hope you can wear it with some pride and think about all those lovely L's that you're standing up for, like Dobby. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that now you also have a nice little SPEW badge to wear with your costume. I hope you found the tutorial interesting and easy. I hope you like the badges. You could do these badges in any colours that you want to, so you could do them in Hogwarts house colours, you can do them in any kind of colours that you like really, it depends what kind of colour you want to go for. I chose red and gold colours for my clay because I'm doing Hermione cosplay and Hermione's in Gryffindor and that's the house colours, so those are the colours I went for, but you can go for any colours that you want to, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're all here for the elves at the end of the day, so. I will be at the London Film and Comic Con on July 19th. I'm going for a Potterhead meetup at 1 o'clock at the cosplay stand, so I will be there if anybody wants to join in. Feel free because it's going to be a really fun and nerdy day. Have fun and stay dorky. Nox.